All right, Daphne, you back with us?
I am.
All right, much better. Since Todd's not going to be on the phone call and we're actually going to use his information to view, what I'm going to do here, Jeffrey, is let's see how many customers Daphne has in the database.
What database are you looking at?
We imported your loan origination system information into our database.
Okay.
And I want to see how many people that you have on here, because normally what we like to do is actually show some live examples. I know that Todd has quite a few people in his database that we'd be able to look for. I just want to make sure that we're actually, because without the proper amount of information, I can't do examples for you guys.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Daphne looks like just has 21 records in here, so there's probably not going to be as many opportunities as Todd, because I know he's got over 100. So what I'll do is I'm going to, since Todd's not on the line, I'm going to have to reset his password, and I'm going to reset it to the word password, and then when we're off the line again, I'm going to reset it back to the password so he can actually change it the next time he logs in, and I'll send him an email letting him know what's going on too. I actually just reset it. So if need be, I can change it to Hancock 1 as soon as we get logged in. So you let me know when you're ready, and we can go ahead and get this started for you here. All right. Okay, well, good morning, everybody. Thanks again for coming to our first training session here for you folks. What we're going to be covering today is some of the refinance opportunities that you're going to find in your system just by logging into Mortgage Returns. I'll go over briefly exactly what we're trying to accomplish for you here in terms of our system, and go over some of the options of how you can send information to customers, whether it be an email, a letter that you print out and mail, anything like that. So what we're going to do here to get started is we are going to go to our website. That is www.mortgagereturns.com. As you can see, I'm already on that website. There's two ways to log into the site. The first would be to click in this client login link at the top right-hand corner. Clicking on this link takes you to our client login page, and you can access your account from there. The other way to log in would be from an email that we send you telling you that you have new refinance opportunities or new opportunities in general that you need to contact. When you receive that email every time that rates are updated within our system, that email is going to contain a link that will allow you to log in as well. Either way takes you to the same spot. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on this client login link, and then we're going to go ahead and log in as Todd Anderson. And what's Todd's email address again? All right, everyone here is going to log in with their Hancock Mortgage email address, and then your initial password is going to be the word password in lowercase letters. So once you type in password in lowercase letters, it'll ask you to change that password. So in the top box, you type password again, and in the lower two boxes, you just need to confirm what you want your password changed to. Once you've done that, you click Change Password, and it'll take you to your actual screen where you are now logged in. Oh, if I typed everything correctly, that might work a little better. There we go. So once you have that password changed, it'll take you to a new screen where you're going to see all the opportunities that you have within Mortgage Returns. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the different sections in Mortgage Returns and actually go through a few live examples using data that you guys have in the system. So as you can see, we're logged in as Todd Anderson at Hancock Mortgage Partners. And when we first log in, we're taken to a page called our Hot List. Now we know that we're on our Hot List because at the top it says My Hot List. Right below that, the My Hot List section is the only section that is in color. And what we're seeing here on the Hot List is a group of customers to contact along with the reasons why. So that's what our Hot List is. It's telling us who we should contact and it's actually giving us the reason as to why we should contact them. The next section that we see up here at the top says My Customers. Now, the My Customers section isn't going to show you just the 23 people that we're able to help today. The My Customers section is going to show you everyone in your entire database. So that's where you can find any customer, not just the ones on your hot list. You can perform advanced searches to find specific customers. All that is a function of the My Customers section. The next thing we see here is Mortgage Tools. And the Mortgage Tools section is going to be where you can see an LTV calculator, as well as do a loan option comparison for any client that you may have. Finally, the last section here is titled Reports. And what this report section consists of are two different reports that you're able to run to help you target some of the customers that you have within the system. The two reports would be, the first is a hot list trigger report. And what that does is it shows you for a specified date range what triggers have fired for you and for which customers those triggers fired for. So you can say for the month of January, how many people came on my hot list, or you can say for the month of January, how many people came on my hot list that were on there because of the rates, things like that. So you can specify that any way you like. And then the other report is our mass email report. That's going to be where you can track not only who you sent an email to, but it'll track if it was delivered. Once it was delivered, did they open it? Once it was opened, did they choose to unsubscribe by chance? The other things we track are anything that wasn't delivered. So any bounces that we have within the system, you'll know about those as well. So you'll see how many were sent, how many were delivered, how many bounced, how many unsubscribed, and how many people opened those emails. That's all located underneath the report section. Today we want to focus on our hot list. We want to focus on finding the customers that we can help and sending them information. So as you can see, if we look down here, all these different records are laid out in the very same way. In the left-hand side, they have a column that says Tag. In this column, everybody's got a box where we can put a check mark in there to select those individual records. The next column says Customers. Now, the Customer section is going to include all of their contact details, so their name, address, email address if applicable, as well as their phone numbers. Below this contact information is where you'll see why they came on your hot list. In this case, it's because they can get a lower rate based on where they're at. The next section we see is called Loan Information. Now, this section is going to include bits and pieces of the loan that we've shown you right up front. Things like the loan category, the interest rate, all the way down to FICO scores. As long as it's in your LOS, we'll show it to you right up front. And then finally, the last column we see is Comments. Now, the Comments section is going to be the last three actions that have been taken with the customer. In this case, it's because they came on here for rates. They came on here for another reason, because they actually came off of our hot list of yesterday, or will come off our hot list, yesterday, excuse me. And then the rates trigger. Now, the rates trigger is what fired on March the 12th, and it refired on March the 27th. As you can see, if a customer has been on a hot list for 14 days with no action taken, we remove it from the hot list, and then the next time the rates are entered, if that customer still qualifies, you'll again see them on your hot list for you. So that's just a brief explanation as to what you're going to see when someone comes onto your hot list. But for all these different reasons, rates, for example, or birthday, as you see on these first two examples, there's all kinds of things that factor into how you're going to see someone on your hot list. You're able to adjust when you're going to be able to see them on your hot list. And to do that, that's the first step that we recommend taking in the system, is going to My Hot List Settings, the link that's shown right underneath My Hot List. So I'm going to click on My Hot List Settings. And now we're looking at a section of mortgage returns where all of the triggers are housed. Now, for every individual user, this Hot List Settings page is going to be exactly how you want it to be. This is not for the company. This is just by you as a user. The other thing to point out that any changes that you make to these numbers are going to be reflected across your entire customer database, not just one or two folks. These apply to everyone. So let's take a quick look as to the different reasons people will be coming onto your hot list. The first thing we see is rates. So when a customer has a rate that is 3/8 of a point higher than your company's rate for the day, that's when they're going to show up on your hot list. Easiest way to put it is if someone has a rate on a 30-year fixed of 5 3/8, and the rate for you folks at Hancock is going to be at 5% even for the day for the 30-year fixed, that customer is going to come on your hot list and appear as an opportunity since they can get that 3/8 of a point savings. Of course, you can adjust this spread for when a property types an investment or a second home. And to change these figures, it's as simple as clicking on the drop-down next to the figure itself and choosing a new value. The next section is titled Savings, and this is going to be based off the customer's monthly payment. So when a customer can save more than $50 on their current monthly payment, that's when you're going to see them on your hot list as well. These numbers all can be adjusted. So where it says 50, if you wanted to change that into 75, simply type in 75 and you're all set. Next, we're going to take, yes. Is there a question?
No.
Okay. The next thing that we see here is the equity. Now, when the customer's equity reaches 18%, exceeds 18%, I should say, you're going to see them as an opportunity on your hot list as well. Now, there's 4 different points that you can set to say, show me this customer when their equity reaches this certain point. But the reason that we've chosen 18% as a default is because at 20%, you're able to save that customer money by eliminating PMI, refinancing, things like that. So we want you to be able to contact your customers before those significant loan events occur. So that's why we give you the heads up at 18% as opposed to waiting until it reaches 20%. And this equity trigger fires based on the appreciation rates that you set yourself. So right under equity it says appreciation, which isn't a trigger, it's just a way to help the equity trigger fire more accurately. So in these values, you can see here that if it's depreciation for a certain year, you can type in a negative number. If it's appreciation for a certain year, you can type in any positive number. And if there's a flat rate involved, you can always type in a 0, and that will represent a flat rate. Again, this is one of the most important parts about configuring your setup of mortgage returns, and that is going to be because this is what's going to help that equity trigger fire accurately. So you want to make sure that this is accurate for everybody within your database. Next, we have a CLTV trigger. This is for those combo loan customers. So when their combined equity exceeds 20% and they can save $100 on their monthly payment, they're going to show up as an opportunity as well. Again, these numbers are all adjustable. The principal trigger that we have fires for those jumbo loan customers. So when they reach that conforming loan ceiling of $417,000, that's when they can refinance and save themselves quite a bit. We notify you when they reach $425,000. For the same reason we chose 18% as a default, at $425,000, you can contact the client, let them know what change is around the corner, and that way they'll have the opportunity to take action as soon as that date arrives, as opposed to getting the paperwork started when that day arrives. The maturity and repricing triggers are the final 2 refinance-based opportunities. They work in very much the same way, it just so happens they're for different types of loans. The maturity trigger is for your balloon loans. 9 months before that balloon loan matures, you're going to get a notification on your hot list, and we give you ample time to contact the customer just so they're not standing there holding that $200,000 bill